I am about to do some insane ELR shooting with 375 CheyTac. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the components that I'm going to use, the reloading equipment and supplies, and we're going to run through loading a couple rounds of ammunition in preparation for me doing load development. Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. Before we get into the reloading process for 375 CheyTac, let me talk about the CheyTac rifle I just finished building. We've got a separate video on that. This rifle was built on the Incredible Hulk 50 BMG build. So I've got a BAT EX action, which is just an absolute monster. I got a 375 bolt for it so that I have the correct bolt face. I've got a Bartline barrel to Paul Phillips specifications. So it's got 8.5 to 7.5 gain twist. It's, I've had really good luck with Bartline barrels. It's got a Timney bench rest trigger. We've got the Accurate Rifle Systems ELR chassis and bipod EXT bipod extension. That's going to work with our Accu-Tac. We've got a couple different Accu-Tac bipods that we're going to take a look at. It's got skis. We're going to be all set up and ready to go. This rifle is absolutely awesome. For reloading gear, we've got a variety of things going on here. At the heart is the all-new Forster Co-Ax XL. This gives us 1.25" die capabilities. It's got all of the travel that we're going to need for these longer cartridges like 50 BMG, 375 CheyTac, and so on and so forth. I've got a 2-die set for the Forster full-length sizer. I was going to have the neck area hound, but I worked with Scott Kemple at Forster and worked out the math. The default chamber geometry is going to work out perfectly. And then we've also got the ultra micrometer seater. I'm a huge fan of this ultra micrometer seater. It's very quick to adjust, and we've had really good results with it. We've got the competition primer seater from Primal Rights. And I talked with Greg, the owner, and I asked him, hey, I'm having trouble coming up with a shell holder. This competition primer seater uses the same shell holders as the Lee bench and hand primers and also the Frankfurt Arsenal hand primer. And so it turns out Greg worked with Graf & Sons. They have a custom shell holder, which I have here. And I've already tried it. Works absolutely great. So if you are loading for the CheyTac and you need a shell holder, check out that special shell holder from Graf & Sons. If you click on that first link in the video description, I'll have that info. And then we have the new XL comparator from Forster, right? This is going to be great for getting our ogive, base to ogive bullet seating depth figured out. And I looked on the website today. There's a whole host of different inserts that are available, starting with 338, then going to 375, 408, 416, 438, 476, and 500. So we have the 375, which is installed in the XL comparator here, and they also supplied us with a 50 cal, which is great for the 50 BMG. So for components, I asked Paul Phillips, who's going to be guiding me through my 2-mile shooting adventure with Clay Roden from Longshot Cameras. I asked him, what are you using for components and load data? So Paul's using Peterson brass, so we've got a bunch of that, cutting edge monolithic solid copper 400 grain laser bullets. These things are insane. And if they're used in ELR competition and setting records, I'm absolutely all about it. And then Paul's load is also based on Hodgdon H50 BMG. So I did a little bit of experimentation. I have shot the rifle a few times, just a limited number of rounds, like literally less than 10. And all of this is working out really great so far. Okay, so let me walk you through the process here real quick. I started with the Loctite dummy cartridge, right? So I've got what my cartridge overall length needs to be. I believe it was 4.703 inches cartridge overall length, and we can check base to ogive with the XL comparator, right? So we're going to start with a piece of virgin brass, and we're going to go ahead and prime that with the competition primer seater. Okay, so case is primed. It wouldn't be a bad idea to run a mandrel, but we're going to shoot 1X fired brass when it comes time to getting down to business anyways. Okay. Now our charge, do not use this load data without referring to other sources and working up your loads. This is 142 grains of H50 BMG. I found that this Auto Trickler V4 has a tendency to run a little over with the H50 BMG. So I'm using the old-fashioned add a pinch method here. Okay, 142.02, close enough. Now, I don't have a couple things for loading that I need, and I'm going to talk to Creedmoor Sports about this. I don't have a loading block, and I also don't have an appropriate funnel. So I'm getting by. You see, we've got this plastic cup here. Charge has difficulty fitting in a normal pan that you'd put in a scale, right? Okay, so I didn't lose a single granule, and we're kind of near the top, right? So we're not sizing yet. We're going to put the ultra micrometer seeder in there, grab a 400 grain laser, and seat the bullet. So this initial loading is actually pretty simple because we're not doing any sizing. There we go, a complete 375 CheyTac. I'm going to load, say, about 6 or so, and then we're going to go shooting. Nice. Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. We're at about somewhere around, whoa. Are you serious? Wow. No, it's a little more than that. Under ½ inch. That's what I'm talking about. Under ½ inch. I extended the bolt seating depth a little bit, and I raised the bipod up, and I raised the buttstock up to get a little bit better position. And that took the vertical that we had out. And so I think with a little bit more load development and with some refinement of my technique, I think we're going to be just completely dialed in. Yes. So I'm curious to see, you know, based on what I've been shooting, how far we are off the lead there. So I'm going to clamp down the XL comparator here, turn that on, and what we'll do is we'll just zero. These are 8-inch calipers, by the way. Everything is XL when it comes to the ELR process, right? 6.277. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's going to go close to the gas ceiling band there. Okay, zero that. And we'll see how far off we are with this particular load. Okay, 22 thousandths. So it's kind of typical for, you know, what I would do with a regular smaller centerfire cartridge. Well, I have to say I couldn't be happier with both the rifle and the loads. We've got great components, we've got great equipment, we've got sub half MOA results on the first try. Now that is satisfying. Now, what's coming up? Well, I'm going to be getting ready for my 2-mile shoot. And so, you know, we've been using virgin brass here. We haven't even used the full-length sizer. We're going to do some once-fired brass. We're going to look at fine-tuning the load. Our SD on the last 3-shot group that I shot, this nice tight sub-half MOA group, was like 11.6 or something like that. So I want to get that down into the single-digit range. And I was just using what worked for Paul Phillips' rifle, right? I'm going to need to fine-tune that just a little bit for the setup that I've got going on. I also need to do a bunch of practicing shooting. This is a different style of rig. You've got a bipod with skis. You've got a lot more weight and mass. The rifle balances differently, and you know, the techniques are different. So I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll probably do some more loading with 375 CheyTac here on the channel as a part of that preparation for the 2-mile shoot. So here's what I'd like to know from you is, what do you think of my loading setup here? The Co-Ax XL, which is new this year. We've got Forster full-length sizer, and we've got the ultra micrometer seeder. I really like this stuff. It's worked really well for me for standard centerfire cartridges, and then now for this ELR stuff. Are you shooting ELR? Drop a comment and tell me your experiences. Tell me about the rig that you're running and what your goals are. This is so much fun. I'm glad that you're watching, and I do hope that you're subscribed so that you can follow the story to its completion. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.